I'm so excited for hosting another great live with my friend Snezana. And every live I'm so excited. And this is Christina. I am a life and business coach, author, and also business owner. And I have with me my fellow accountability partner and fellow coach, Snezana. But you know that I always love to give you the stage to introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. For those who don't know me, my name is Snezana. I am a business coach and a leadership trainer, and my focus as a coach is on growth mindset through productivity, accountability, and goals. So I help individuals and teams get on their growth mindset hat and improve and reach their full potential that way, in a nutshell.
Love it, and love your hair, and this color suits you so well.
Thank you. It's fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, nice, nice. So on our today's live, we have a really how to say it? I was gonna say juicy topic because there are many aspects that come with it. I mean, there's so many things that are come with limiting beliefs. So we are gonna have a live Q&A. So this live is interactive. So I'm asking you that as watching us now, write us in the comments from where are you hearing us. Just say hi to warm this live up. And so you have the opportunity to ask us any questions, and we gotta live them, answer them live. Bear in mind that sometimes there is a 1 to 2 minutes delay, so we seeing your comments, and we already have some questions that has been sent to us through messages because everyone that said attended, I messaged them and asking if they have any questions. So shall I go and answer these questions?
Let's do it.
Okay.
As you get to the questions, I just wanted to remind everyone today we're talking about limiting beliefs.
Oh,
And
I
more
thought I saw it.
specifically,
Yes.
that's okay. So, specifically limiting beliefs in business and why they matter. And since this is Christina's forte as well, she's going to be sharing a lot more on that as we go through the questions. But just wanted to fill in the silence.
Yes, you were right, because I forgot to mention that this is from my excitement. Oh, I see so many lovely faces in the comments. My
Oh, nice.
friend Gap, this is how I call him, from Greece. I'm always scared to call your name as a girl. Sorry if I said it wrong. From Cyprus, we recently met from LinkedIn, and I'm so excited from LinkedIn that bringing us together. We had some really valuable conversation there, and our fellow accountability partner, Anne-Marie. And thank you for joining us so late. I want to acknowledge that because you're late there. And the first question is, what strategies can you implement to challenge the belief that failure is a sign of incompetence and instead view it as a stepping stone to success? You want me to read it again?
No, I got it.
Okay.
How to see failure as a stepping stone rather than, you're
Yes.
worth nothing. Right?
No. I'm laughing because I was also reading the comment that you can say how you want the name, because I know I'm sometimes I'm terrible with few names. So you go with the answer. Sorry for that.
Yeah, so thank you for asking that question. One of the things that we need to understand is, depending on what culture you come from, we are taught from an early age, very indirectly, that failure is not good. That failing is a mistake, and it won't get you to where you want to go. I always share this story because for me it was baffling. I have a background in education and teaching, and it never crossed my mind. I was listening to two ladies. They were doing a workshop on working with kids with special needs. And one of the questions that they asked was, in your country, when do you switch from writing with a pencil to writing with a pen in schools? And for us, that's second grade, unless
Mm-hmm.
something's changed over time. So, but what that means, and the reason they were asking it is because pencil, you could erase, pen, you cannot. So, you can scratch it through or
Yes.
kind of leave it like that, but you can't delete it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so indirectly, what that's saying to the kids at age 7, 8 is you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, that's visible and it stays there, right?
Yes.
And if you make them, you can't have too many scratches on a paper because it looks messy.
Yes. Yes. And even if
So,
you use this Keepek thingy, it's still gonna show.
right, right. Because, nowadays there are things that can erase a pen, but,
Yeah.
back in the days there wasn't. And there may be countries where still there's not that much, but, still it
Yes.
shows the mistake. So
Mm-hmm.
for us to understand how to deal with this, we need to understand where it comes from. And we keep receiving these messages from a very early age that failure is no good. So step one is acknowledging that,
Yes.
acknowledging that you've been taught that this is not a way to go. Step two is understanding, looking back at your own examples and seeing where you failed, but that didn't change anything about who you are. For example, I can give a personal example, driving. Driving was my big thing when I was learning how to drive. The first time I failed the driving test, I felt horrible. But then I remember that, life goes on. And just because I failed that one time, it doesn't mean that I will never learn how to drive. I'll just take another test, right? So I'll improve. This is just for me to show that maybe I'm not ready right now. And so step one is acknowledging that we've been taught to think this way for a very, very long time, and it will take some time for us to undo it. Step number two is write down all your situations where you have failed, and failure is learning how to walk. Because you've failed many, 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 many times before you learned how to walk. That didn't change anything about you as a person.
Yeah.
You're still, you were still a curious child learning how to walk. You fall down, right? Whatever. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, off you go, right? So those are the tools or the steps that I would use. And then I would use that list as a reminder that, look, you've had to fail so many times to get to where you are right now. And failure is a part of life. So you will be failing as you succeed. I don't think there's success without failure.
Yes. Can I jump on?
I don't know if that tool, what I'm saying, if that helps, but this is the way I look at it. And it's going to be hard. I still feel at times every time I fail, I'm like, oh man, there's always that part of me that's like, oh, why did I do this? It should have been better. I could have done better. But what changed is now I can deal with it faster. So the transition between me nagging and criticizing myself to me being supportive of myself and looking at what I'm learning from this experience is a lot faster.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that's a big
indeed.
change. And if you can, within the next couple of months, if you can go from you shouldn't have done that, you should have known better, it could have been better, and you feel horrible for a whole day, to you should have done that, you shouldn't have done that, you could have done better. But okay, what am I learning from this? If that can happen within a day, that's progress. Just understanding that it takes time is a really important aspect of dealing with limiting beliefs, especially with failure.
Yes, and specifically with failure, I wanted to say that I failed so many times, especially in my first business, and made so many mistakes that I'm now laughing because in the second business, it was faster, the process and the growth, because I had all these failures, these mistakes that saves me so much time. we have so many opportunities in this life we are living. We are creating most of the opportunities, honestly. So instead of kind of focusing on the failure, focusing on the growth. And I always say that these failures or mistakes are our business biggest assets, because they grow us so much. Um, they even build us as a person. I mean, from the positive side, because you you fail, you done that mistake. So what are actually afraid now, because you already see that this is not so you know huge. I mean, you didn't destroy the planet because you done that mistake. You just deal with it and move on. And I was going to see again the question if there's anything else like we could add, but in summary, I feel like there is no possible way of not failing or not making mistakes, because if you want to grow and be more successful, you need to get out of your comfort zone, change things around, do actions, and there's no possible way in this world that when you're doing, you're not going to make either a mistake or fail in the process. Because if you want growth, we usually say you need to step out of your comfort zone, and stepping out of your comfort zone, not everything is well known, and even if you know everything and anything, you still can fail, and that's okay. And just it's just okay.
Mm, mm. I would add to that, really heavily rely on your past experiences, because
Mhm,
as adults, we've failed many times, even
mhm,
not thinking about business, but just general life things.
mhm,
In school, as we were learning, you rarely learn from the first try. Like I said, walking, talking, all of these things, you've gone through them and
mhm,
you've failed in the process many, many, many times. So if nothing else, because I think the question is, how not to see failure as incompetence.
mhm,
Um, are you not competent enough now to walk? Are
mhm.
you not competent enough to talk? Are you not, competent enough to learn? And in
Mhm.
order for you to learn, you've had to fail many, many times. And yes, it's not the same thing,
Yes.
but it transfers. So you are familiar with the experience of failure, but did that make you a less valuable person?
Mhm.
No. I mean, if you look back how far you've come. This is where you get your motivation. This is where you get the trust that you need
Yeah.
and the confidence that you need, because you look back and yes, you've failed many, many, many times, but you've succeeded also many times. And
Mhm.
so you are here today because you've been failing at certain things.
Yeah, and I also want to add a personal story on a limiting belief that I had. I don't you can say it was through school. I was always believing when I was in school that I wasn't good at writing and my strong point was speaking. And
Mhm.
it was when I finished my coaching certification and working with my coach to, set the action plan on my first step into coaching. How, I was, the session was devoted to how I'm gonna start, what are my first steps as a coach. And I remember him asking, like, what will be the most uncomfortable thing for you to start doing? And I said, writing. And he said, okay. And I said, okay, I guess I know the answer. I'm gonna start my blog. And he started my blog, and then I was so much enjoying it and still writing in my blog. I'm taking a break now in summer, but I am so enjoying my blog because I'm writing my way, not a specific way. And
Mm.
now, I mean, 3 years later, I have published my book. That is, been 2 years since I published my book. Writing in my blog, I love writing, and even people say that they love my writing and how I write, because it's And this was a huge limiting belief for me. Every time I was needed to write something, I was kind of, oh my God, from who do I need to ask help? Not that I'm,
Mm.
the greatest writer in the world, but I write in my way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's authentic. It's
And
authentic.
and and if I let these limiting beliefs stop me, I wouldn't be able to start my blog, um, even publish my book, and even start some amazing conversations around what I wrote and things like that. And 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 this will cost me these opportunities. But when you enable yourself, let's say, to be challenged about your limiting beliefs and ready to, just step out of the comfort zone, I think this is where the biggest growth happens. And
Mm.
and first of all, I think one for me personally was for me to receive the growth of that. I stepped out of this limiting belief and done what I was feeling that I wasn't good. So, and even that, it's also enables so much growth because you know that you done it. So there is nothing, you know,
Mm.
there is nothing there on the specific topic to be scared of.
Yeah, but that's the thing about limiting beliefs.
Exactly.
It's a message, um, or a sentence, a
Mm-hmm.
phrase, a belief
Yeah.
that we've been told or
Mm-hmm.
we heard somewhere, either enough times to start believing that it's true and cannot be changed, or we've heard it at a particular moment in our growth and
Yeah.
development where it really resonated with us.
Mm,
And so we stuck with it. And limiting beliefs, they don't have to be only the something you're not good at or you cannot do. They can
mm,
also be framed positive, like I am a very helpful person.
mm.
And that can be a limiting belief because if you believe you're very helpful, that means you need to help everybody.
Yes.
And you may not directly be able to help everybody.
It also jumps on our boundaries and how much we say yes and how much we say no. But you said something about, what we heard. And I wanted to say that when I was preparing like the topics for our new coaching program, by the way, we are preparing a new coaching program with Snezana. We have opened the wait list. We are so excited about it because it's a group coaching program for women in business that want to also work with limiting beliefs, boundaries, align their business, align them with their business, find clarity and things like that. And I was um, going through my notes about limiting beliefs, and I I realized that we have some limiting beliefs that, as I call them, are the labels that either might society give us, or in my case, that school, let's say, might give me, that I wasn't the good, writer in school, and either my, let's say, without realizing it, parents making like, the labels that everyone, let's say, without knowing, might give us, but it's also, the question is, are they really true?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We always have to question it. That's why I said limiting
Yeah.
beliefs can be a positive statement as well. Like you always achieve what you set your mind to. That's
Mm,
very inspirational. It's very motivational. It's
yes.
very good to hear that. But what happens if you don't achieve what you set your mind to?
Yeah.
So then what? Are you a failure? Are you not
Absolutely
good
not.
enough? Are you incompetent? No, but
Absolutely not.
that's what a limiting belief does. It if we're not ready to question our statements, what we believe is true, we cannot grow, be it a positive or a negative one.
Yeah.
But most people talk about these negative forms. So I wanted to make sure that people are aware that it's not always the negative formulation that is a limiting belief. It can be a limiting belief. Something that is preventing you from growth is a
Mm.
limiting belief. So you want
Mm-hmm.
to question, where is this coming from? Why do I think this? Have I tried anything to change this? If so, what happened? Do I
Yeah.
need to try again? Because maybe if you try to change something and it didn't work, maybe it
Yes.
wasn't the right time. Maybe you didn't know how correctly. Maybe now you have more experience and more knowledge to do it.
Mm,
So it's a process. It's a never ending process that you can always help yourself.
exactly. But generally, growth is a non-ending journey. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's limiting beliefs, it's new boundaries you need to set, it's new clarity you need to, define. Because I said it earlier, you cannot possibly grow if you're just doing nothing. And if you're just doing nothing, then how much you are enjoying doing nothing. And what is your purpose in life? I mean,
Yeah.
but there is no possible way because I wrote two particular actually that was my first blogs in my blog about changes that you changes are necessary and changes foster so much growth. We cannot, there is no possible way that you can be the same because if let's say I'm just living my life without any aspirations of growth and just I met you and we have a conversation and you share your values in there you make an impact in my life. I mean, because we share values, we have conversation, and even this tiny thing is changing, and
Yeah.
it's
Agreed.
changing you.
Agreed.
So anything else to add it to this
No, I
question?
mean, we kind of wandered off the question, but I think it was important to explain a little bit more
Yeah.
about the beliefs
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
All right, shoot, another question.
Yeah, I actually love so much these questions into this life. Not that I don't love the other ones, but I feel they are so. But anyway, um, okay. So the second question is a topic that we have been discussing kind of a long time in the chat. So here is it's time to be on a live. I actually would love if I'm always writing the questions as they come. I
Mhm.
always would love I actually would love if you could comment on how to tackle ageism against younger business entrepreneurs.
Mm. I guess my question would be, what seems to be the issue? Like you're too old to start something?
No, the opposite. And I seen that, and I have experienced that when let's say I was in my 20s, 25, something, okay?
Oh, so you're too young to start something.
Yes, yes. Or
Oh, got
either
it.
or either not to start something, but you have the knowledge, you have the skills, and you go and let's say either present or I'm gonna say pitch, but and this belief that you're too young or the perception of others and things like that go, but feel free to, if you want, I didn't know if you wanted to share your name, so if you want to jump on and say more in the comment, feel free to jump on. So yeah, about that concept, too young, but also too old sometimes, because I see that, and for me it was too young. Aren't you too young? um yes.
Okay. So I guess the issue we have is that we connect youth with
Mm.
inexperience. And
Mhm.
I mean, naturally, I think that's across nations, right?
Yeah.
Worldwide. So if you seem young, the assumption is you haven't lived enough, so to speak, to gain the experiences that you need.
Hmm.
Why is that an issue? Well, it could be an issue for funding, for example. It could be an issue for growing your business because there's a less trust, because we expect that a younger person would still have to live, to go crazy, go wild, do parties, kind of get that out of their system before they commit to business. Is that wrong perception? Yeah, not everybody needs to get it out of their system.
Mm.
There are amazing entrepreneurs who started really young, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are amazing entrepreneurs who started really at a very old age, and they're still amazing. So I don't think your age doesn't have much to do
Yeah.
with your success. It's just about the strategy. So, for example, if you are young and you don't have much experience in both life and business, you're going to try and surround yourself with people who are more experienced, who are going to be supportive. It's not somebody to boss you around, somebody who can share their experiences and what they've gone through, and they can
Mm,
support you in the role of a mentor or maybe even a coach or just somebody you can talk to.
mm.
So you want to create relationships where you can be supported for your growth, regardless of where you are in your stage in life and
Mm.
business. Um, one thing I would say is it's hard to change people's opinions.
Yes, I was gonna say
So if
exactly the same thing.
somebody,
Uh,
right? So if you're, as you know, if you believe that I am young, and young means inexperienced and it means irresponsible,
mm,
it's gonna be really hard for me to change your opinion unless you're open to changing it.
mm.
There are things that I can do. Yes, I can show you that I am capable. I can show you through results what it is that I can do, but it is up to you
Yeah.
to change your opinion. Because if you believe, you need to question your beliefs. I can't do that for you. I can show you what I'm capable of, but you're still the one who needs to change on your end.
I was also gonna this question is not mine, it's from someone it's been sent because I've been there, what I have been doing um is asking myself if this is true. And usually adding to what you said is you cannot change the others. I mean, others, they have these beliefs for so many years. They might, being their limiting belief. So why should I carry them, their limiting beliefs? Okay. And I always say that all these things are like a backpack that we carry. So everyone has their, backpack with limiting beliefs or barriers. So why, shall I load my backpack with their limiting beliefs? So every time that I was coming across to this situation, I was making sure that I was in my best shape. Like I was doing the work with myself, like having the confidence I need. So I was able to kind of switch this perception. Sometimes they don't say something, but you see their body language around it.
Mhm.
So I was always having like either you can say it a sentence, an affirmation, or whatever in my mind, like, and I was able to shift in the moment and prepare even my posture around it, or ask the right questions, like, I feel like, what, how we can do this, or things like that. I don't know if you know I don't want to give specific questions because this is so wide, but there are always ways when we are in our best shape and confident to shift things around. And I'm laughing because it's so funny. We had an exact conversation with one of my clients last night, and because he was so confident in a conversation, it went into a huge opportunity in his life, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm so grateful. And it's actually, that is even another confirmation that when we are confident and be able to think clear and react clear, I mean, even these situations can be shifted at the moment.
Mm. Mm. I would say, be humble enough to learn from others and
Yeah.
to be open to learn, but also be confident in your
Yeah,
abilities
right. Because it's
and
better.
trust, yeah, trust your journey. That's
Yes.
what I'm gonna say. So what you can control is the work you do
Hmm.
with yourself. And this is something you should always be investing in
Yes.
as you grow. It doesn't matter where you are in life, but also be open to learning from other people. Um, Try to get in their shoes and understand, or at least respect. You may not
Yeah.
understand, you may not get it, and that's fine, but respect,
Hmm.
because that's that's a characteristic of a confident and professional person.
Mm.
You want to show respect.
Another thing that I have been, yeah, let's say, dealing with is people not take me seriously because I laugh too much for
Mhm.
some people. But even in that occasion, is always who I am, and I always say that this laughing too much or laughing, laughing in general, is how I attract my people, the people that I really want to attract. So always remember with whom you want to work, who you really are, doesn't need to be changed because other beliefs. And
Mm.
I wanted to share my personal stories on this specific topic because I feel it's easier to, understand.
Oh no, this is, yeah, it's good. It's
But
good.
thank you also for adding about, mentorship, because it's a really fine line of then being an arrogant. And so thank you for adding this up. Anything else you want to add on this specific question? I think,
No, if there's anything in particular that the person was curious about, they can
yeah,
always message us.
yes, I was
But
gonna
I
say.
think, yeah.
So the third one is I'm struggling with burnout, and I definitely think that limiting beliefs contribute to it. Example, I need to work harder. I can't take a break. Oh, this touched my heart because it's something that I talk a lot about. So shall I jump on?
Go for it. I think it's close to home for many people.
Yes,
But
yes.
go for it.
Um, First of all, I'm gonna answer with my favorite sentence, something that I frequently say is not working hard, is working efficient. And um and I can personally guarantee you that working hard doesn't make you successful. Because again, in my first business, I was working so hard. I remember when we needed to deliver a project with my partner, and the deadline wasn't deadlining. I mean, everything was going wrong in all the possible ways. And it was going wrong because we were extremely tired. We wasn't taking care of us. So everything was going wrong because we were burnout, because we we were reworking really hard. But um I remember my partner then said, I think we need to take a break. And I said, no, we need to finish this. And I remember that, and I'm laughing now after all these years. But it was exactly like that. My perception of working hard, because first of all, we needed to reach the deadline, but also I was really believing, and I think all of us at the beginning really believe that we need to work hard. We need to compromise, neglect life to, grow our business, and then we gotta enjoy the fruits. But at the end of the day, this will give you exactly that burnout. And it might be a physical burnout, but there's many, 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 many times that it's also burnout in the whole business idea. And yeah, you don't want that, neither the one, neither the other. So now that I have grown so much, I have changed so much, and I'm a coach now, with after my certification and all this work that I have done with myself and all these businesses, I always say it's not working hard, it's working efficiently. Like having your systems ready, taking care of you, because rest, being rested and charged, you will be able easier to deal with any mistakes you might have, and you have the clarity to see them, create the action, find alternatives and things like that. Because things in business and also in life will gonna happen, and this is, the most usual metaphor about business is like a roller coaster, and it is, and it's also life. Things happen,
Mhm.
and you need to be in your center, in, charge, rested to take care of it. So again, it's not working hard, it's being efficient and taking care of you. Because if you're not able to take care of yourself, how you gonna take care of everything else, like your business, your family, your home? everything, and have the clarity to deal with it, and also create a support system around it, like with coaches taking care of you, self-care, like find an accountability group as we have with Snezana. And believe me, so powerful to have a support system around you, on not only in business, but in life's journey.
Yeah. I would add to that, who says
Mm,
that you're successful when you work hard? For this particular
yeah.
person in your life, where did you learn this? Is it from your family? Is it from
Mm,
a role model? So who worked hard
yeah.
to become something or
Mm-hmm.
someone, whatever that is? Look, we can work hard to be a parent, and
Yeah.
it's a completely legit desire, right? So it doesn't have to be only a business. But my question would be, who says that? Who
Mm,
believes that? And when was this true? And is it still true?
mm,
I would also question, when have I done something successfully and I didn't have to push myself so hard?
yes.
Or when did I work super hard but didn't get the results I wanted? What is that telling you? So that's what I would be questioning. I would
Mm-hmm.
be trying to find a logical explanation, because what happens is, with limiting beliefs, um, they become irrational, they're emotional, especially burnout. We're completely emotional, no logic there whatsoever, because we're exhausted. So a way to help yourself is to bring it down to logic. Okay, if working hard means success, whatever success is, or if I stop, everything stops. If that's true, then what is it that I need to do to make sure that when I stop, not everything else stops?
Mm,
Or is it really true that when I stop, everything else stops? But you're bringing it down to a logical level will calm you down. It will give you a little bit more clarity. It will give you a different perspective. And it'll feel, there's like that relaxing, like your shoulders are falling back.
yeah.
You can feel it in your body, that there's a relief. So that would be my way to tackle that instantly. Obviously, I would suggest, if you are going through a burnout and it's acute, or it's something that's happening often, talking to a professional, be it a therapist, a coach, somebody who can support you to
Mm-hmm.
create the tools that you need so that you don't go back through those cycles. But one thing you can do to help yourself is to ask, okay, this is what I believe. Fine. What
Mm,
does that mean? What does that look like? Who did the exact same thing? Who are they now? What are they doing now? Do I really know their story? Do I know what hard work meant for them? And is that still relevant for me?
mm-hmm.
So I would question that, the whole background, the whole system. And that's something we can do ourselves. It's easier if we could talk it through. You can be a friend, or, like I said, a stranger, a coach, a therapist. But talking it through, even with yourself, is going to make you more logical. It's going to get you into problem-solving mode. And that's
Yeah.
where the brain thinks clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would add. But I completely agree with everything you said, Christina. And I'm guilty of pushing myself too hard. I think all ambitious people, and I'm generalizing this, but I do believe that all
Mm,
people who are driven, we always want more. There's always something more to do. You can always be better. I mean, even I'm going to give you a simple example. I started running, and so I set a goal for myself, to run. Well, it was different distances, but this morning it was 4 kilometers. And so I was doing my 4 kilometers, and then I could see that I could do more. And I was like, well, I should do more. Why don't I go 5? It feels like I could do 5. And I'm like, no. So there was a moment in me where I was like, yeah, let's do 5. But then I remembered, no, that's it today. That's going to be too much.
mm,
You yes, you're capable. It doesn't mean you should do it. So I think, but that's a learning lesson. You know, it took a
Yes,
long time for me to be there to say, okay, this is your goal. You've done it. You've done over four. You know, I did like a couple
mm,
hundred meters on top of that, but that's enough. It's enough for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good because I want to be able to do that tomorrow again.
Yes, yes, exactly. And you give me, um, um, when you said running, I was, I wasn't able, yeah, I wasn't good at running at all. And, and I was doing CrossFit and there was particular, I was doing the whole CrossFit without having any issue or problem, you know. And when they had in the workout run, I was kind of, oh my God, how we gonna do that? And I cannot do that. And usually it was 2 kilometers. And I was kind of, oh my God, how is gonna go? And of course, the first times I wasn't good. I was doing kind of the first meters and then trying to kind of walk really fast. But I was, you know, um, I lost the word now. I mean, with consistent, and then I was able to do the 2 kilometers running. It
Mm,
sometimes it needs practice to, get out of the limiting belief we have and also not be a limiting belief anymore because okay, yes, it might be a reality. I wasn't good at running. I mean, I wasn't
yeah,
good
but
at
you didn't
running.
practice enough.
Yes. So when I practiced enough, I was able to run and
Mm,
finish the workout, that particular workout on it. And 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 that's okay because of
mm.
my mind when I was running, it was having so many sentences at the same time. Oh my God, let's push, you can do it. With the exact tone of voice. But then I realized that I need to change these sentences and, you know, be more, you got this, we have been practicing and things like that. It's not only the mind and is everything that we are doing, like we are putting the action. So we
Mm,
don't allow it to remain as a limiting belief, but something we are
mm,
working on it. And even
mm,
and even that's why coaching is so powerful because you have something like it's a limiting belief and then you go with the sessions with your coach or everything and you start working it so it doesn't remain a limiting belief now you've been working in consistency to change it. I lost all the words.
consistently. Right. With burnout, I would add the problem with burnout is that you're pushing yourself too hard.
Exactly,
So
yes.
so in that
I went
case,
into a different direction.
right, in that case, what you need to learn
Mm,
is to slow down, um, by accepting that it's not that
yes,
you're not able to do it.
yes,
Yes, you can do more. Yes, you're capable of doing more. Should you do more? That's the right question.
yes. And another
And
thing that I
usually,
wanted, oh, sorry. Yes.
no, go ahead.
Another thing that I wanted to say about that, and then I say a different thing, is was that um, working hard is something that everybody is saying. And it's
Mm,
not only because you ask who is saying you that, it's something that everybody is saying. And because everybody is saying and have this belief, it doesn't mean that it needs to be our belief as well. So it and there's so many ideas, perceptions, values, visions, even religious in this world. So having our own values and know who we are, what we when our capacity, our values, our energy is something really important to, be more efficient and stop having this false perspective of working hard or being efficient because it's something again we will talk a lot in our coaching program that how essential it is to know you. And I have been asking this question for kind of recently, and I realized there are so many people that, and I'm gonna add myself in the past, that we actually don't know who we really are. And when we start doing the work with ourselves, we really understand, but the really who we are. Okay, kind of, you know. I'm fun, I'm sensitive, I mean, I have humor, but what do you really are? What are your values? What is your capacity? I mean, like example, like knowing that on Mondays, I mean, personal, uh, thing, I'm not productive because my weekends are full and active, and so my energy and productiveness on Monday is low. So having all these tools and information for yourself to, arrange your schedule around it, it will make it even more efficient and, save you from burnout. And also, you don't need to push yourself all the time. Pushing yourself. I'm stop pushing myself on Mondays to do everything. I know I have the capacity to have one, max two sessions on Monday. Usually I only have one, and then I'm gonna have the rest of the days with sessions, except Friday, that is self-care. And this is what I do the last 3 years, because I know this is the way that I protect myself. I'm in my center, and I'm able to coach my coachees in the best possible way. And we are not only professions, we are also human. We need to take care of us and understand us first, before taking care of others. And even, as humans, like as mothers, or, wives, friends, or even, being on our own, you need to take care of you first.
Agreed.
Say
Agreed. Now, look, just be ready and open to
yes.
change, and question what you're saying to yourself. If there's something that you keep saying to yourself and it just sounds weird, or it just doesn't sound like it's something you truly believe in,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a good time to question it and see what you get out of it,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Um, and also understand that we change, and it's okay. It's okay for your values to change. It's okay for your beliefs to change. It's
mm.
okay for
Yeah,
who you are to change, because we are
exactly.
going through life and we're gaining new experiences,
Exactly.
and that makes us a different person. Our
Exactly.
core may stay the same, like, if you're always a gentle, kind person, it's nice to stay a gentle, kind
Yes.
person. And if that's what you want to keep, you keep that. But it's okay to change. I think that's another thing that where these beliefs are boiling down. When you see somebody and they say, "You've changed a lot," they say it
Mm,
like that's a horrible thing. How could have you changed so much? And that makes you feel bad, but it
mm,
shouldn't. We change because I wanted to change. I wanted to be this. What if I enjoy being this new person? Have you asked me that? Have you thought about that maybe? So I would say, as a wrap up to our talk about beliefs, um, they are, um, their beliefs, their statements and messages that we've been given over time, and they can change. And if you're not comfortable with them, they should change.
mm.
But you have the power to do that. You just need to understand where it's coming from to be able to change it.
It's also in the whole term, limiting beliefs. They're limiting you. So if they're limiting you, say goodbye. Work with
Mm-hmm.
them, like
Mm-hmm.
understand them. And always the first step is acknowledgement. I always say that, with
Yeah.
everyone that start, they book a discovery call with me, and I always congratulate them because they make this step forward for their growth. And even if
Yeah.
they are not working with me, they have acknowledged that either they have this limiting belief or they want change, more clarity, and growth. So this is the first step. And then the second is to define what you need now, for now. And I'm saying now it's so bold because there are so many ways to, change, growth. So finding your way, the more aligned way for you, is what will make the biggest impact in your growth and in your change. And and
Agreed.
and change is my favorite thing, actually, around growth, because when you actually changing and stepping out of your comfort zone is when the biggest growth happen. And again, personal story, when I was on, let's say, kind of zero, that was changing everything. I have started with, you know, I was saying goodbye to old friends, like, because it wasn't aligned. It wasn't the right peer group. I was changing cities. When I change everything is when, you know, I started receiving, achieving things, because I was more aligned with who I am. And I was, you know, I was also doing the action for myself first, and not for everybody else. That's for
Yeah.
me. Signature.
Yeah, yeah. I think if there's one
Yeah.
takeaway from
Yeah.
this is, if it's limiting you, do
Yes.
something about it.
Yes. Yes.
You can use it
Yes.
as your strength. You can change the perspective. You can completely change the belief.
Mm,
You can explore where it's coming from. But whatever step you decide to take, just take some action.
mm,
Because by doing that, you're going to feel immediately better. And yes, change is scary because we're going into the unknown, and that's okay. It's okay to be afraid, but if you still do it,
yes.
because that's what's going to bring about
Mm,
the novelty. So yeah, I would say if there's one takeaway, it's okay to be limited, but the
mm.
question is, what are you going to do about it?
Yes. Yes. And I don't see any questions in the comment section. If anyone has any question, please do it now. Or
Yeah, or
email
message us.
us. Yes, I was gonna say that. Message us, and we still got answer. I would just wanted to express my gratitude for this live. It was so amazing. I really enjoyed it, and we have touched
Very
so
humble,
many.
Christina, very humble. We
No,
did an amazing job.
no. I mean, and we, you know, my excitement, but I think it was amazing that we touched bases on so many topics. That was I wanted to say, but thank you for adding the details, because sometimes my excitement goes different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Agreed. And look, it is a huge topic. And I think, I mean, personally, I struggle with it too. You just learn, you learn your ways.
Mm,
You build your toolbox so that every time they come back, you know
exactly.
how to deal with them, or you're faster at dealing with them. I don't think I've perfected the system. I don't think I ever will, but I've learned how to deal with them in a healthier way.
But look, you grow, you change, and there's always you have more tools, as you said, in your position, and and every time is not the same thing, it may be different. So it's not a one recipe, and we just go there with the recipe and that's it. You with one recipe you can do a specific cake or food. I mean, with other recipe you can do something else. So
Yeah. Agreed.
it goes with
Agreed.
limiting beliefs. I don't see any questions. So
All
thank
right.
you so much for joining us. Thank you for being part of it. And yeah, enjoy
See
the
you next
summer.
month.
Yes, yes. See you next month. Yes, see you next month. I was thinking that it's gonna be August, but we've got to talk about it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a great day to everyone, and full of wins. And
Yes.
we would love to support you. So feel free to message us if you have any questions.
Agreed. Thanks so much, Christina. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Bye.